Welcome to Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is about charting a company's direction. And this is one of my favorite spots during lockdown. I've been able to make a quilt. I've been making masks. And it's been nice to do something that takes my mind off of all the craziness. In Chapter 2, we're going to talk about creating strategy. And you will need to focus on learning objectives 2-1, 2-2, and 2-3. 2-1, 2, and 3. A strategic plan is a lot like a blueprint or a pattern. When you're sewing, there's a pattern that you're trying to follow. And there's a lot of stops and starts. And a lot of times, you don't really quite know where you're going until you get there. And you kind of just got to trust what's going on. So a strategic plan has a number of elements to it. It's where the company is headed. It includes its strategic and financial targets. It outlines the business model and strategic actions. What you're going to be looking for in Chapter 2 is the vision. I have a vision to create something. A vision is where you want to go. It's a pie in the sky. It's aspirations for the future. Whereas the mission is a little different. It's what we're actually doing. So I want to create a dress. That's my vision. But I got to do all this stitching here and not like mess up my sewing machine in order to get there. And that's what the mission is. It's the present situation. Right now I've got fabric. I've got scraps. But I might sew them together into a strategy. So your mission is who we are, what we do, why we're here, what pains do we want to solve in the world, and how are we going to get there. So vision, mission, and then you've got your values directing you. So you might be thinking, I want to become a business leader. Are you going to lie, cheat, and steal to get there? Is that your mission? Or are you going to get a nice, respectable degree from the Mahalo College of Business and Economics, do your internships, do your part-time work, and work your way to the top? Those are your values. The values are the beliefs, traits, and behavioral norms that we embody as we work toward our vision. And then, and I'm sure you've gotten this before, you need to look at your objectives. So there's your specific objectives that need to be time-specific and measurable. That's what makes a good objective. It also needs to be achievable. Now, in strategic management, we have two types of objectives. We have financial objectives and strategic objectives. Financial objectives are related to things like profits and margins and return on investment and revenue targets and sales targets and price targets. Those are all financial objectives. And then strategic objectives are a different type of objective. They have to do with market position and competitive positioning. Do I want to be a market leader in cloud technology? Do I want to be second in China on fast food restaurants? That kind of strategic objective. And then you want it to be time specific as well. I want to become a market leader by December 31st, 2020. Or I want to increase profit by 25% as of March 31st, 2021. So you need to attach a time target and a measurable target. It needs to be something that you can check off. You also want to make sure that most of your objectives are achievable. But at the same time, you want to grow the capabilities of your company. You do that by setting stretch objectives. And the stretch objectives are exactly what they mean. They're meant to make your people work a little harder, fight a little harder. And then you want short-term and long-term objectives. And you do them at all levels of the company. So if you're at a huge multinational corporation, you're going to set objectives at the corporate level. You're going to set objectives then at the business level. And then at the operating level, at the very ground level. And we call using all those different types of objectives all together a balanced scorecard. So those are the main takeaways from Chapter 2. Have a great time learning about vision, mission, and values.